COVID had a huge impact on the homeless. Homeless people challenged with their existing issues such as mental health, safety, and etc. had the additional stress of having to deal with COVID. People in need were afraid to utilize shelters as they were worried about congregating and contracting the disease. Reduction in shelter space and volunteers resulted in a decrease in the amount of homeless people in the system, and therefore increased the number of people unable to receive the care that was needed.
Um, Folks who are already experiencing the trauma of homelessness now having the additional trauma of trying to navigate COVID. So whether it's fearing for your safety and the anxiety that comes with that on top of your whatever your mental health issues are or your other challenges about employment, etc. It was a real tough time, right? And everything shuts down. All of our volunteers, we closed our organization of volunteers, so a lot of those life skill programs and amenities that are meant to boost people and move them forward had to be on hiatus. And until the vaccines were available, people were scared to be there. The guests were scared. Our staff was scared. That was back in the day when you were afraid if you touched a doorknob that hadn't been sanitized, you might die. You didn't know.
The folks who are single and who are out there, they lived in terror of homelessness because they couldn't isolate. Just impossible to isolate. Or to shelter. You were told to shelter at home. But if you have no home, there's no way to shelter.
What we did see was less people came to Convenant House at the height of the pandemic because people were afraid of, coming to a big shelter where there's a lot of people. They're afraid of the pandemic. They're afraid of all of those things. So we saw the census go down a little bit. A lot of people lost jobs during the pandemic. A lot of people lives got entirely displaced. We see rent going up. We see all of those trends happening where people suddenly can't afford their lives. So, I think there was a pretty big increase of individuals who became homeless during the pandemic as a result of losing their jobs.